This is Morten from INKISH TV, and this is actually the second episode in all these videos that we have planned to do to support the Hunkeler Innovation Days. And this time it's with my other good friend. Last time was Pete from InFocus, that you know very well, Andrew.
Yep.
But now we are with Andrew Bales-Collins from Ultimate TechnoGraphics in Canada. So Andrew, welcome to INKISH.
Thank you very much, Morten. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. I think we have enjoyed each other's company a couple of times last year, Printing United, of course, but also we went to SG360 together, which was like a fantastic site to visit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope the video we did have supported your business. That's always, and we want to tell the story, but we also want to support the business, of course, right?
Yeah, no, that went down very well. That was a great customer and a great testimonial as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you, customer, for that. That was we were just in the right spot at the right time, right? So, Andrew, we're going to talk about Hunkeler Innovation Days, and I mean, a lot of people have always cherished the Innovation Days as being one of the best events in the industry. Have you been there before?
Personally, I haven't. It's my first time. So,
are you excited? Are you excited, my friend?
I'm excited for several reasons. One is to go, because I've tried to go before, but for various reasons it didn't happen. And I'm also excited because we've got a lot going on. But the company's no stranger to the show. Ultimate's, I think it's the third or the fourth time we've been there as exhibitors. And we have a lot of friends and partners there. We integrate with a lot of devices and a lot of the systems. And also, it's a very strong market for us, that high-speed inkjet direct mail. Just like SG360, I mean, that's the market they're in. So, I'm really looking forward to attending. And as I said to Julie, you can probably see it snowing here in Montreal. So I asked her if there was a possibility to go somewhere else where, apart from Canada, and she said, you can go to Switzerland. So, not getting away from the snow, unfortunately.
No. Fantastic. I also think that one of the reasons why so many people anticipating Innovation Day this year is also because of the COVID, they had to postpone it like 2 times, right? So I think this is also the first time since pre-pandemic that Innovation Days takes place, and I think that a lot of people are anticipating. You mentioned already now that the market you are in is within both direct mail and transactional print, but also in the book and automation space. I was just thinking that, I mean, for all of you guys that are working in the inkjet space, it must be really interesting times these times because of the technology that is developing so rapidly right now. Can you explain a little bit how you see the market and how you can help that market?
Yeah, well, we actually play in a lot more spaces than that. We do in-position ganging, nesting, and then also coupled to that bindery automation. So, if you think about what that market is, it's typically very large files, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of pages, very, very fast devices, very, very short turnarounds, actual SLAs, contractual obligations, often linked to mailing. So it's a definite no-fail market, and we have a specific version for that of InfoStrip, which is what we call the scalable version, which is extremely fast. We've actually, part of what our showing at the show will be, is we've just done some new benchmarks tests, some incredible speeds, and we'll be announcing those at the event, amongst other things. So you have the speed, the connectivity. There's a lot of requirements for special marks on the imposition and things like that, which we're very strong at. And connectivity upstream and downstream, and then also the bindery automation on the back of that. So it's a market we're very, very strong in. We have a lot of customers in it, and also we have a lot of partners in it. And really, I think for us, it's those two things. It's connectivity, and then it's also speed. Let's be honest, the presses aren't getting any slower. The drive is there to get faster, and then coupled with that, there's no point having a faster press if you can't support that post-press So, we're kind of the key part in the middle of it, delivering the files in a correct and timely fashion to the press. So, it's, our customers are constantly challenging us in that market, and we're bringing some of those new innovations to the show.
Great. Can't help think about, because when you talk about the SLAs, it's funny because you can think of, if you look at imposition on a roll, for example, if it's an inkjet device, it should be simple, but basically, first of all, it's a lot of pages, as you said. But secondly, I think it's also, some of the SLAs that you have with the PSPs are a little bit about the sequence of jobs, because they have SLAs with their customers that is also quite demanding from time to time. So is it all those kind of things that can be taken into consideration when using InfoStrip?
Yeah, when I say SLAs, I mean the SLAs our customers have with their partners, their delivery schedules. In fact, I've been doing a lot of, part of my job is to talk to customers and to find out their challenges and how we can improve to help them in their daily business. One of the other things we're showing at the show, my background, as you probably know, is PDF. I'm heavily involved with the Ghent work group, and also in my previous life, I've worked for two pre-flight vendors. So we found that one of the challenges, should we say, that exist in that direct mail market is the files often are not created from what you would call professional sources. They come from a variety of PDF libraries and applications, and they're very large. I said before, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pages. So if you have a problem, it's not an easy one to resolve, because pre-flight solutions struggle with files of those size. So one of the things we're launching at Hunkeler is a solution to help that. So I can't say too much about it, but I can tell you it's called Better PDF. And it's a module for InfoStrip, which I think will be of great benefit to customers in that market. So we're really excited to show that at Hunkeler. It's out on beta at the moment, and get people's reaction and see what they think.
Super. And it's funny when you mention that, because one thing is that you mentioned the thousands of pages. I was also thinking that with all the inkjet devices today is really have high capabilities when it comes to colors and to replacing even jobs that you would normally print on a commercial, either like an offset press or a more like an indigo type of device. Yeah. So I take that. Yeah, so I take that it's not just the number of pages, but they could get way bigger in file size because you have more information in each on each page, right?
Not always true, because actually digital print, as far as a PDF file is concerned, is actually less restrictive than offset printing. If you have to color separate a file for offset printing, there's certain constraints that you have that you don't have with digital printing. It's a lot more forgiving. But having said that, it's the physical, number of pages and also variable data. Each page can be different. So it's not that you just rip one page and then print 100,000 copies of it. You rip 100,000 pages. Each page is an entity on its own. So there's no shortcuts. You just have to number crunch your way through those files. So this is areas where we feel we can help our customers.
It's funny because when I visit your office in Canada, I think it's maybe almost half a year. No, maybe almost a year ago, because it was also snowing when I was there the last time. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I was when I spoke to Ray, I even think that he mentioned that if you look at, I asked him why is it this urge to always improve speed? But you actually just gave a perfect answer, because if you move from having like one page that is replicated many times, basically you move to the products of one, which is like almost like an ideal in all kind of print today, right? That you don't have to. There's a waste thing. There's the warehousing thing. There's always these kind of things that there is a clear trend towards smaller and smaller circulations for many, many different reasons, right? So it put a lot more strength on your side, right?
Yeah, and also, coupled with that, there's the automation story. My previous roles, I've been heavily involved in automation, And it's funny, automation is different things to different people now. There's still some people who are doing manual imposition, and moving to manual imposition. There's people that are trying to automate their workflow to get the files to the press. And then now what we find with our bindery products is that people are trying to automate the post-press side of it. There's no point having a faster press if all you're doing is having more pallets on the floor. You've got to get jobs finished so you can invoice them. So the whole thing about short run brings additional challenges to all parts of production: more files, more make readies, more job changes, more paper changes. So yeah, the whole workflow environment is really, really fluid, and exciting. There's lots of things going on.
But I was just about to say that when we talk, like if you can talk about a perfect workflow automation system for a printing company, it is. But I mean, it is essentially about eliminating all the bottlenecks wherever they are. Right? It could be, maybe not relation to InPost and Ultimate, but maybe just the fact if you can't get customers because nobody's answering the phone, for example, right? I mean, so when we talk about the value of automation, is basically to make sure that we get the work done as fast and as efficient as possible, and that maybe also answers why it's so important to have the speed on the processing side and also on the computer side. And of course, the new computers gives you a lot of advantages. I would say one of the questions I have is actually of curiosity. It just came to mind. A lot of people are using the Apple computers in the industry. Are you natively supporting the M architecture now? Or
well, it's funny you say that. I'm actually talking to you from an ARM Mac, an M1. And last November, we launched a native M1 version, and straight out the box with no extra functionality, testing that I was doing with some quite serious files, 38% speed increase over Rosetta.
Okay. So simply so basically that means that when we talk about the need for faster and better processing, of course you need to have the hardware to support it. But you say that since you can now also deliver a native Mac application for the M processors, basically you give a lot of advantages of just that move, right?
Yeah, it depends on what the customers want, really, because a lot of people run us almost as a lights out scenario, an automation scenario. So we're somewhere in a server room in a rack with other applications. Other people run it on their desktop and they have someone sitting there, some people use it manually, other people just sit there monitoring it. So we kind of offer different choices depending on what our customers want. But we're actually launching our flagship product, our scalable product, was only available on Windows before, because that basically means you can run 8, 16, 24 imposition servers simultaneously. So you can process, million-page jobs extremely quickly, or you can process 24 jobs at the same time. That was only ever a Windows application before, but actually at Hunkeler, we're showing a Mac version of it. So it's a sufficient benefit for us to make some investment in, updating our product range to support ARM. Yeah.
Now we talk about this, these productivity gains. If you think of, let's say that you, let's play a game. I buy a web-based inkjet printer for like a $2 million machine, right? And it has some software built into it, and now I want to optimize the productivity on it. Is there a clear ROI on investing in Ultimate compared to just using the software delivered with the machines today?
Depending on the use case, yeah. I mean, one of the big things that people are looking to do is that, say you bought 5 devices and you had 5 different software applications on each device. That's 5 different maintenance contracts, 5 different applications to learn. So what we offer is a centralized solution. So you feed us, then we feed the devices, which also gives you production flexibility as well. So yeah, we often see that people will buy a device with something that they get for free, which of course maybe they do, maybe they don't.
But
they get to a certain get to a certain level of production, and look at their production as a whole, not just at that one device, but look at their production as a whole, and also look at their finishing. In fact, a lot of people start looking at finishing first and work backwards, just to see where the bottlenecks are and where the improvements can happen. As I said before, very often now what we're finding is people are pushing jobs massively quickly through the factory, and then they come to a stop at the finishing side. So what a lot of our resellers are doing now is starting from the back. What's the capacity of finishing? What's the capacity of the press? How fast can you get files from the press? And get a true picture of how the business is going to function. So it's incredible.
Yeah, I would also say that if you look at buying software like Ultimate, you also end up in a situation that you become maybe a little bit less dependent on specific components in your production, because if you want to replace one component in your system, you don't need to also change the entire software side of it, right? It should make it more easy to upgrade your hardware when you need it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that cherry picking of best of breed products. I mean, I was involved with Switch before at InFocus. That kind of picking the best product for the, rather than buying a complete end-to-end workflow, you buy what's best for you, which gives you flexibility to change and evolve and adapt. It's something we have. We're independently owned as a company. By nature we have to be open and integrate with everything. So that really is one of our strong suits. Coupled with the fact that we've got a lot of customers who really push us for new functionality. They're investing heavily in other areas, and they need us to provide the software to support them in that. So it's exciting and scary at the same time.
And now you are going to Switzerland, and I mean, basically, when you go to Switzerland, I mean, you have all the print OEMs, and you have actually quite a few of the binding suppliers as well.
Exactly.
How are you going to present your solutions on Innovation Days, and what can a guest expect?
Well, it's great for me because I'm not actually going directly to Lucern. I'm going to Belgium first, because I'm part of the executive team of the Ghent Work Group. So we have Ghent Work Group meeting the week before. So we do that, and then on the Sunday I fly down to Lucern. So we're there with our partners, Impressed, who I know you've met Carsten at the Horizon event. Yeah. So they represent us in the German-speaking regions. So we've got, I've written a list because there's so much we've got. So we've got some new speed benchmarking. So we're showing what's capable with our solution for driving these fast devices with large files. We've got this new product, Better PDF, which actually the first time I've talked about it publicly is now to you, but I'm not going to say too much. That's going to be there for people to learn more about, and we'll move forward on that there. We're showing a new version that will be released shortly after Hunkeler, which is our 2023.1 version. So that's exciting. I'm quite new to the business, so all these new things I get a real buzz out of.
Of course.
Yeah, we've got new integrations. We've got new devices that we're supporting in the finishing side. There'll be new devices there as well. We have a lot of partners there, existing partners, and of course we're hoping to make some new ones as well. Plus we're going to see a lot of customers and maybe even get some new ones. So I think it's 3 or 4 days, is it? It's
4 days.
Yeah, it's going to be action-packed. I mean, our schedule already for meetings is pretty full. We're having to book them in the morning and the evening now. It's it's great. You mentioned before about post-COVID. I mean, we were both at Printing United. You saw the success of that show, which we put down to COVID and everybody suddenly wanting to see things. And I really hope and I really believe that Hunkeler is going to be the same. I think similar to Label Expo, people are starved and they want to communicate, they want to touch things, they want to feel things, they want to talk about things. And you can do a lot over the internet, but nothing beats sitting down with a coffee and having a proper conversation about things. 100%. So I think it's going to be a great show. I really do.
I'm pretty sure about it. I was just about to, on an ending note, let me ask you a very simple question. So is it finishing first, printing first, or software first?
Oh.
Unfair, right?
It's actually neither.
Huh? It's the mindset first.
No, it's file first.
File first.
Without
Fantastic.
the file, and without a good file, you've got nothing. Everything's standing waiting.
And I thought here, Andrew, that I could get you into saying something that could at least cause some political struggles when we see each other in Lucern. But you were like the gentleman, as you always are. That you came with a perfect answer. So I
well, the thing
that.
is, I started my life as a pre-press manager. I started my life as a typesetter, but I've been involved in production, and I've been involved in PDF for over 20 years, 25 years. So for me, that's the most important thing. You have a bad file, you have bad printing. No matter how you finish it and how beautiful it looks or what embellishment you put on it, if you've still got 72 DPI images, it's not a nice job. It's, for me, sitting on the fence, it's all about the file. It all starts with the file, and that's my answer.
Fantastic. Andrew, thank you very much for your time here on INKISH. I'm sure that people that have listened to you and our little chat here will have a better understanding of what to expect at the Hunkeler Innovation Days. And I look so much forward to go to Switzerland and I meet the people, but also to see the new technology. That is one of the things that is really, really nice about that show. And since it's your first, I can just tell you, you will never miss any in the future, because it is actually one of the very best shows.
I've heard so many good things, and I've actually got so many friends personally going as well. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yourself included, of course. So,
of course.
Yeah.
But, see you soon, my friend, and all the best to the team in Canada, and talk to you.